Next week, Europa League final.
See, I didn't in advance.
What will be cup in advance?
UEFA form crown me away.
UEFA for the catchers of what you are going
away. I'm not sure you buy. I'm on pursue be having. Oh, you're Manchester United on home. Postecoglou, Daniel Levy, on any team in the army away. That trophy no muntu minje.
Nse Postecoglou on the second season or Jeno. What do you mean? This is the muntu min show mo.
Minim me away.
Nti we
mo show mo Premier League nim.
But we number show.
We Europa League in common here.
But say the same teams.
I know. But your boy Europa na a different animal.
Say Amori Magic Cup now. How long will you give him?
As in contract na.
There be contract. Say contract dey ohono. But time saying Amori be man and sign Amaka okay. See ano. I mean 6 months and now half the season and now another full season.
No full season in for man.
That's a more full season that. So we know about Fiifi.
And I mention say we read any edge teams over Jane half of the season. And or buy result in Koyi no credit da no waka. Europa ne be ka say ya de ho. Hantino say unya a season a ode wa auto players dey akoye pre-season. E dey abebo season ni dia. You can't give me this mediocre result. Now on can James Yensama another full season. Yen sama no. And then there's so 6 months. That's a sad result we are on the mind, especially in the Premier League.
17, 18.
Oh, about contempt.
But
when you are pardoning because of a G team no mid season.
But as a Manchester United fan, I didn't know person with Europa League.
Because I was here boy Europe.
I didn't hear. Because you see our make say
that is where we belong.
No, calm down. Which you see, I don't like it when Nipa bi to say wow, we are very learned in the job. I can't simply say blanket statements like that is where you belong. Because Rich, obi anywhere you catch and say automatic bibi and the how we ask we move.
I only belong.
No, relax. And you're by force. If you belong, it is your work that will take you there.
If you are a man now,
no, meba.
Now, meba.
So what's next team?
Yet if you any affairs, you are about Champions League.
About the team. Which team we are? What you have a Rich, what do you have to say team?
It's true.
So instead of staying back to repair the team, why do you want to go back to Europe?
And then go beyond Europe now.
No, but times are near Mount Koyeno. Sometimes you don't have to be in Europe. It's sometimes a blessing in disguise. Say you stay away from Europe and then build a team.
But some mature reason to have Europe.
Okay.
Oh, my catcher.
But
maybe I ran if
my
catcher say. I say. Abrochino, football is purely business.
Exactly.
We sport and if you are business in your
very important.
And it's a share your position. Our league in this one. Kofi and Koyo.
Yeah.
16, 17.
Yeah.
And your Manchester, Bob Brennan. And say your boss season where we. Now say Manchester at the 17, 16. Your sponsors in the crowd because Massa. Manchester United. And I'm dying 17, 16. And say near my you. Either said the Panober draw the sponsorship of the club no cry, and I say your back out to say it's kind of metitious. Yen pennies are. And I say, look, league in India, who say your mother born yen yard. But I'll see a quail. And my young sponsors and some mileage now. I don't want to this card be brain. You bet me the among me. And you know the among qualifying young Cobo Europe, no. Yammy are near Bobia, every player, no. You bet me the allure place. I'm a mobile body, I'm a team.
Which? Me,
as simple, you know.
Minchawano. My current sponsors are Snapdragon.
Yeah.
Snapdragon deal in the buying. It was the highest marketing deal any club in Europe had gotten within that time. 50 million.
Yeah.
For a club like Snapdragon. It was in a season and I'm only Europe. Even last season, man qualified to Europe using the regular table stand.
And you say Snapdragon better say your mom mediocre result we.
Why you what I'm missing comedy name. Maybe so say at this point in time, I don't think the Snapdragon will put in all of those clauses a long term. I think it was a 4 or 5 years deal. I'm signing here with Snapdragon.
Yeah,
they are not going to pull it away. They would understand that the club is going through very hard times. But yes, to the financial arguments, I say the money and the revenue are Champions League by Manchester United. No, it is money and revenue that you don't get from anywhere else. And even if the Snapdragon cries now, so when you say it's gonna come, it's good. But I've always spoken about sustainability of projects. So, who come Manchester United now? Would you want to play in the Champions League next season? Not next 2 seasons after Ene. You come back and say, hey, Kofi, Yasako 16, 17. You want that? Or you want to forego this Champions League and 2 seasons later, you will play consistently, win the English Premier League and possibly win the Champions League. That is where Manchester United belong. Manchester United belong, you know. And you're just playing in the Champions League 1 season. Not next season, you walk about conference. Next season, you walk about Europa. No. That's not where Manchester United belongs.
I don't want to say, you're coach Champions League 90 more.
But
it's like, as a more shut me, as a debut, more share resort now, you know, Premier League, you know. And I'm going to cast your Europa into me more. It's not true.
No, but no.
You're several examples are teams be performing poorly domestically, but Europa are performing very well.
Very well. My example.
There's so many examples.
My example. Chelsea. Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel before Chelsea, they did Champions League. 2 seasons afterwards, where was the club? Champions League quarterfinals. Or won the first 2 games, and he in a free. Even the first time Chelsea won the Champions League in 2012, in that season they were bad in the domestic league. After that, performances had never been consistent. Opa, for Chelsea table in the last 5 years. Who was the Chelsea seat second? Why? Because the sustainability of the projects in any one of them, teams are focused in Yankobo Champions League maybe, but it is sustainable. Obi Manchester City. So I Champions League even after a bad season. You know that their project have been sustainable. 2 seasons time, but what about you? And now because of Champions League, United 4, you see a Champions League, fine. You be fine. But after winning this Europa League, playing Champions League next season, there is a high percentage of free quarter-final. Oh no!
I don't think I'm into it.
No, because you should say yes. You do it for. And if you use data, now you want to see the analysis.
Data there.
Maybe I only
agree. Data now you know. Who you should data ben now the air analysis no.
Even with your
European common here the data is good.
But not your European data in Europa League, a Champions League.
And the champion will be who the training Europa League.
Europa League they good.
Coffee, let's say. Yamiya Duma, you drew bridge in one. Ever cross it. Man,
as a Manchester United fan, me too, I say. And me no problem. Me say United fan be a one that say me Kofi na say me share as a Chelsea fan and me person me both Champions League nibi. Me fan.
Okay.
Whatever happens, I want to play. But in all of that, I still ask myself, say me Koko Bobby is sustainable. Would that work for the club?
Okay, me Manchester for no mutation is me can show say.
How say?
Among anyo ho. So, you know, na o Chelsea a mo prem ho ye ko Champions League ye ko Champions League.
Okay, where the defense are there?
Munyino mo.
David, there was Amade.
Amanga. Chelsea a mo yinem ho na ho ne ye ko Champions League. Mo performance to say. Mo ja ne ko Europe ye papa. And at the end of the sometimes man is sounding as if yet if you be na Europe UEFA for other friends who chairman what the honey was a movie belonging to move the debate. Mobile Champions League. Master, I had one at the Kubu. Europa near Bomach near the qualify you.
Okay.
Aye, it's Munyai. Yamia Domina, you qualify for the Champions League. You're about the Champions League in Hong Kong. And your problem.
How many years in it?
And
your question. How many years?
Yeah, you say. Papa no coin and Yaman ko ye mine.
The same business, how many years?
Oh, Kofi, I understand your baby. I would dear con. Understand it too. You also can say after Silas Ferguson, Manchester, you said I'm Bob baby.
And I'm about Champions League, maybe.
And a good say.
But still, exactly.
Oh no, as a man make a running me point as you may say. You drew bridge and why ever cross it. Mumma young Champions League, yeah. And Commander can you be the top players?
Young Coppa Italia.
No problem.
Young Coppa Italia. And United for the never can be a munti. Wabasam transi. I read the Kufina means me now, means me now. Come in Almost in the Coppa Italia. And then an oppo to now say games will be honor. And a cup final about course with Italy, and it's the Coppa d'Italia final. AC Milan and Bologna. Me are very much interested in Papayo that tactical body. Say Unimuna or the coach of Bologna. Now, last season, no, the coach of Fiorentina, a friend of Vincenzo Italiano. One of the very, very good local coaches of Italy. Marriage. Now, the Fiorentina, Fiorentina Conference League started here. Every season, no matter the semi-final, at least. And Vincenzo Italiano, they only said one. To the extent that they even went to the final, almost lose final. They have been very, very unlucky with finals. Or no Vincenzo Italiano same. Time at Thiago Motta, Eddie Bologna qualified for Champions League, free or called Juve, and Obefa Jumano El Bologna. And he has been good. Very, very good. Maybe Omodano, they can still go on and qualify to the Champions League, and they have been playing very, very well. Rich, Bologna team, last season, they went to the Champions League for the very first time in 4 decades. But in terms of winning an Italian trophy, especially the Coppa d'Italia, it has been off for a very, very long time. And it is same for AC Milan. Rich, Sobekaya, Conceição, Sergio. Oba Italy, the first game was to beat Inter and to go on and win a trophy for team and friend AC Milan, or a specialist at that. He gets that job done very well. And Oyese Jumano in winning that trophy, the results have not been too good to the extent that Ibrahimovic and some of the hierarchy of team and friend AC Milan are contemplating someone saying at the end of the season they will bring in the likes of Roberto Di Zerbi any other to come and coach in AC Milan and allow Sergio Conceição go. But then it's a big final. Say, Usha Milan team now, and now, Matisse Man City for a quick ask to Milan, and you're asking them about Abrante Fenitijani Reinders. Amuhiano with Rodri and Florian Wirtz as part of the midfield trial post Kevin De Bruyne. Rich, sign a big team in movie. Kevin De Bruyne Oko Fatijani Reinders Aba. On the typical Pep Guardiola midfielder, I will explain that into detail. But are they a different dynamic? And I'm suspecting that Pep next season would want to have more ball carriers from deep area. No about Bernardo Silva as half wingers. Or in case Bernardo Silva, that is what he wants to do. Rich, that midfield of AC Milan, where they have Tijani Reinders, Yusuf Fofana, and Fiifi on them. And then sometimes add Ruben Loftus-Cheek or Feta, or even Yunus Musa or Fiifi on them. They have been very good. The problem in some match where I may expect say AC Milan for will face from Bologna and say Bologna for are very good with our pressing and super attacking. The first thing I'm expecting from this game is Rich. In 90 minutes, there's going to be some goals and over 1.5 and over 2.5, most likely. I think say a double chance for Inter in the first 90 minutes are likely because the game can travel. All through, I'm expecting say Sergio Conceição with his expertise at the Belgian trophy, at the AC Milan. Now for the very first time since 2003, AC Milan for the Coppa d'Italia, which is very, very good for them. Which is the season not over?
Sure.
For me, I think that it is almost over. And Carlo Ancelotti in the last few hours about Becca said on the 26th of May, officially he starts his job as Brazil Seleção manager. And it's going to be the beginning of the reign for Xabi Alonso. I think say Utie Madrid, the injury issues of Vinny Jr., the fact that all of those backline issues in the corner, already Madrid for now locking out of the Spanish Liga stands now. And the focus will go straight to the Club World Cup. So Xabi Alonso, the focus is going to be about winning the Club World Cup. And then using that as a springboard, almost be reinventing home for next season. Very, very important stuff to do. And then almost about an important game. I think that for me, more of a psyche, Samacha Madrid Bebono, and for bragging rights and for their egos. Because it's a game where Vini is out, Rodrigo is out, Lucas Vazquez is out, Aurelien Tchouameni is out, Antonio Rudiger is out, Eder Militao is out, Dani Carvajal is out, Fela Mendy is out, Eduardo Camavinga is out, David Alaba is out, Andrea Lunin. And so these are guys in a whole starting 11 and they are out for Team Manfred and Madrid. Team now, Air Travel, Vallejo, Frank Garcia, Sancho, Yusuf, Jacobo, David Jimenez, Mario Rivas. This is not a regular Madrid starting defense. Bellingham, Valverde, Modric, Ada Gule, Dani Ceballos, Chema, Mbappe, Endrick, Brahim Diaz, Gonzalo, and our branch friend Victor Munoz and El Hon. We will give all to win the remaining 3 matches. I think Madrid will have enough to go into this game and then still get the win, regardless of what Mallorca wants in the game. You know, a starting lineup of Fran Garcia, Jacob Ramon, Asensio, Valverde, Gule, Ceballos, Modric, Bellingham. An opportunity for the likes of Arda Güler to let Madridistas see how important they can be to the team in the future. And now, Mikacho say Barca phone Rodrigo goes that they would want it. And I mean now, so Barca phone fan account and who say, "Oh my gosh, Rodrigo goes Jesse." The Barca Jesse, you know, I'm actually also say, can Rodrigo do Luis Figo 2.0? Okay, the story of Luis Figo from Madrid to Barcelona. In movie called it's going to be good. One of the probably the most sought after players this season, Rodrigo goes. As the transfer conversation goes on, both in England, in Spain, and elsewhere, I think, and I want him to be very much more appreciated, and a lot of other clubs would want to do that. The conversation of Dean Heights in there, I'll come to that later. Bill, their reporter said, the family of Flying Wirtz, to free Germany, echo Manchester Cromon. And the meeting was with City's entourage, Hugo Vienna, the incoming City sporting director, and other members of the team, you know, to discuss Flying Wirtz. I can't this story to you, say, I've always read from the German media, say they believe, say in terms of quality, Wirtz, Jamal Musiala are better than a brand here friend Jude Bellingham. Now, the clouds around on the clouds now, they don't think that buying does enough to project Jamal Musiala. They don't think, say, of course, buying for Leverkusen have done enough to protect a brand here friend Florian Wirtz. Which, imagine if Joseph Guardiola in a midfield to replace Kevin De Bruyne, Florian Wirtz, as house space occupier and creator in those tight areas now, then is able to add a branch of Tijani Reinders. I've spoken about Tijani for a very long time. For me, time when we pay a very close attention to Tijani was when Nameye commentary for the Euros. Rich, what a player he is. For the Dutch national team, as a CM, he carry ball from deep, he pass it. But the most important thing about Tijani is box crashing ability. No, the final ball in the box to get you goals. Intuition the numbers now. Oh, very good goals, very good number of assists for him. So, Ebi Anyami Adman next season. Yebenya Guardiola, Diaz, Kosanov, Tijani Reinders, Rodri, Doku, Umar Mamouche, Fran Wirtz, Phil Foden, and a bunch of friend Ellen Haaland leading the lines. Now, and I think that when I briefly spoke about him, we beside me say, then a Dutch in your friend Tijani. The story is very simple. Who's it? Tijani Reinders Nankasano or a Dutch. Na Nipa Paso a stout supporter of Ajax Amsterdam. Now, so around the time Omo Tijani Reinders no. Na Nigeria player friend Tijani Babangida. So no but our Dutch Eric Davis him. According to Tijani, because his father loved Babangida and Tino, he decided to be named or not Tijani Reinders after Babangida. But instead of the Babangida name, no for Tijani, and or the almost same name Reinders no, and the Kahumana. And your friend Tijani Babangida El Honum. And now Chelsea for anti-assem there. Just to end it. And it is with Rhys James. Sky for only the money could tell us what kind of training is Enzo Maresca doing with the boys in preparation for Manchester United match now Rich. Omurawa. Yes, Christopher and Kuku. Any Rhys James in are absent. No training for them. Rhys James this is the very first time in a long time why fit our own prior. Then Chelsea fans begin to ask questions. For Nkuku, the season is over for him. And once the season ends, Bayern Munich are lacking, especially said Florian Wirtz, not so called Manchester City. Bayern Munich will do everything possible to make sure somebody far bench friend Christopher Nkuku away from Chelsea to go. It's in as much as we're prano. Chelsea for don't even bother somebody you soon in any of the games that are left. The good news came later in the day when we heard say Rhys James and Yipra. Now, two things. One, almost managing the load in the debut no training, and 2 na a regular illness ne ho na na do ne kakra and it's now out of the team no and Chelsea phone are seeing how things will go. I want to stay away from Chelsea transfers bebree at this point in time until Champions League, you know, Chelsea phone it mean and so because I think say a bit affect almost everything that they will do.
Okay.
One Chelsea would have to move from a second choice of or less than also centre back, second choice before they will know what to do. Arsenal was on better Andre Santos. Mr. on your for sale. Akra na enya titina ko fa na fi Brazil na ko Strasbourg next season. Owa be adwuma no Fiifi on mama no. Anya for sale. Yes, anya for sale. Rich. See the your face here na yentwi draw no but even before say be draw no and matches wo honti me sure say boys me ko fi kese me mpese wo be test me aka say fi ene one man cool di anti I've just prepared it for you Michelle say utie me a na why a quick na watch raw and I say we take you screenshots send e be ya ne uko fi kese me when you be the first one reach a 1D 8F 5A 19 and first code no 12 odds. Now next one here 1D 8E 662 1D 8E 8662 and no and the second code no third one here 1D 8B 3FOE and no and the third code now and the final one here 1D 8B 3FOE. Rich. These are the codes I know. We go fix it. My home. We take a screenshot. And I say, "Opeswa, ubeti me na watcho. I say me kaya no." Rich. Yenchiska. I will say after an analysis. Nene. Esi me just in 2000.